Wanted to make a quick live video for you today rather than like a long premeditated thing. I'm just kind of getting back in the coaching game um, and wanting to share with you guys a little bit about what I'm doing with the Council of Lilith, which is my first group offering that is launching November 7th. And there are still a few spots open if you're interested. So, one of the main things when we're integrating a shadow piece like Lilith that has been, you know, a circumcised, fragmented, shamed out of our consciousness for thousands of years is radical inclusion. And what I mean by radical inclusion is like giving something a lot of love and approval that would normally be really shamed or really shunned. And that in times like this, maybe you're having an intense day with like the Mars square Pluto piece or the Mercury and Libra just gone direct opposite Chiron in Aries. So conflict these days is pretty intense with the South Node in Sagittarius and everyone having really righteous beliefs about everything. So I think it's apropos regardless of whether you're interested in doing Lilith work and shadow work or whether you're just trying to have a functional relationship with another person or with yourself. Um, and, things in my experience don't, inner conflicts don't go away through shaming, through repressing, and through making them bad and wrong. They end up um, really kind of coming in to be part of our own energy in a harmonious way when we give them love and approval and radical inclusion. So, what does this look like? It looks like a lot of different things. For one, like if something is coming up within you that normally you would shame and deem as bad and wrong, that society deems as bad and wrong, to like slow the mind down and to notice those moments where it's like you want to shame yourself, be like, God, why am I such an asshole? Or there's like a constriction inside you, maybe. And a lot of us can feel this, particularly around our own Lilith sign by house and aspect as well. Um, and to just stop and instead of shaming when something flares up, just kind of like take a breath, like to love that aspect of self, to love that part of self, to say, wow, you totally want to go on a murderous rampage right now. You have so much anger and it's okay. I love you. Thank you for wanting to protect me. And then you'll find that like if it's that, if it's grief, if it's depression, it's like allowing things to just kind of move, allowing things to just be what they are. A lot of times we diagnose depression as something that needs to be fixed when actually it's like it's a need for deep rest, depressed, like to run its course. So there's I find when I feel depressed, I let myself be depressed. I let myself deeply rest. And then there's inevitably a moment when I naturally, because I completely follow the need for deep rest, I'm not pushing against it, and then like I'm springing to action in a couple of days organically, not making myself, but because I deeply rested when I felt deep rest. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about radical inclusion. I'm talking about not having, I mean, really practicing like not having any state of being bad or wrong. And when we can like have this attitude towards these different aspects of self, then we can address a shadow energy that has a lot of charge, that has a lot of shaming, that has a lot of negativity projected onto it, such as Lilith, to the point where Lilith sometimes gets confused about who she is and what her function is, and if she's actually okay, if she's good. There's all this negative, PR about Lilith that's been happening for thousands of years. She can kind of rewrite the story for herself and say, hey, wait a minute, like this the energy of anger is also warrior energy. It's also about action. It's also about passion. It's also about desire. So if I'm anger is maybe a symptom of an aspect of self that has a lot of rage, a lot of anger, a lot of passionate energy. So it's being able to slow down and in the moment, like not make ourselves bad and wrong for any state. It doesn't mean don't be accountable in our relationships. It doesn't mean don't It doesn't mean, oh, I'm angry, so I'm going to go like drive the opposite way, in traffic and try to like get into as many head-on collisions as I possibly can because I'm on like a suicide mission, in my neighborhood. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying the impulse, the feeling. It's about making the feeling okay. So we're still responsible for our actions 100%. So I just wanted to, I'm going to be making like little short and sweet videos coming up to the Council of Lilith launch, which is going to be on November 7th. I would like to have people signed up before November 1st. If you want to sign up, if you're interested in this like group offering where it's going to be, oh my God, it's going to be super beautiful, a lot of depth, a lot of um, a lot of opportunities for the parts that we felt the most shame for to be reflected to each other and to really share with each other openly and freely, which is an opportunity that I think a lot of people don't have. What I've really gained out of a lot of, group coaching situations and programs is, being free and able to express those things about myself that most conversations can't handle, with like most friends or family or coworkers or your church group, if that's what you're into, whatever it is, just like we get to be everything that we are. We get to speak freely. We get to, go into the things that have sometimes a negative charge and hopefully be able to reflect to each other that those aspects of self are just neutral energies, and we can harness them and we can integrate them with various techniques that I am excited to offer to people. So, yeah, the crows agree. And yeah, I would love to, if that calls to you, I would love to hear from you. My email address will be below, jamespanthorastrology@gmail.com. Again, I'm going to be kind of wrapping up registration on November 1st, maybe even October 28th, because I'm going away for the weekend. But yeah, so that's the ideal. It starts November 7th. So even if you can't make it to the Council of Lilith, I hope you will practice radical inclusion of different parts of yourself. And how to solve outer conflict really is like be aware that as within, so without. So if something's going on outside of you, what is pissing you off about that person, what's bothering you about that person, how is that actually a part of yourself that you're not giving enough love to? Because if you can love it into submission, really, I don't even want to say that, but it's like loving it into, it's like love neutralizes conflict. So um, see if you can expand your capacity to love internally and externally and watch a lot of magic happen. So much love to you all. Hope this finds you well.